going on, everyone? Get Out is directed by Jordan Peele, and you know that guy, he is from Key and Peele on Comedy Central, the very funny guys. And this one is the newest horror/thriller movie, and it's kind of funny to think about it. Mr. Jordan Peele is making a comedy/horror movie. You don't hear about those too often nowadays. But for those who have not seen this movie already, Get Out is about a black man who is dating a white girl, and over a weekend, he is going to visit his girlfriend's family, and he is very nervous about this because they're not sure if they're racist or anything like that. And then when he arrives there, some strange things start to happen, and this place is not exactly as it first seems. This movie right now actually has a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. So going into this movie, I was having very high expectations. I was expecting this movie to be a very good horror, thriller, comedy movie. And when you have those high of expectations, things don't go exactly the way you would hope for. And one bummer from me personally was actually a few weeks ago, I was given an opportunity to go see this movie in an early screening, but unfortunately I had too much work and I could not do that. So I actually could have seen this movie about a week and a half ago, but instead I'm seeing it a week after it came out. Yeah, that's a bummer. But this movie, it intrigued me a lot. That trailer, at first I thought it was going to be a comedy movie that was like a spoof, but then I realized it's actually a horror movie. And when watching this movie, you do get those seeds of it being somewhat of a horror, but also a pretty funny comedy. Daniel Kaluuya, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name, I'm sorry about that if it's not. But anyway, he was pretty good in this movie as our main character. You felt for his character after it pretty much seemed like everybody was coming after him in this movie. So I thought he was good in this movie, honestly. Bradley Whitford was also in this movie. He played Daniel Kaluuya's girlfriend's father, and he was pretty creepy in this movie, but I thought he was really good. If you remember him, he was actually the villain in Billy Madison. Yeah, time goes by, doesn't it? But when I speak of the comedy in this movie, I think the funniest scenes by far include this man, Little Rel Howery, I think that's how you say his name. But he was absolutely hilarious in this movie. He was by far the funniest part of the entire movie. Every single time he was on screen, he was just laugh out loud hilarious, and I loved him in this movie. He kind of reminded me of Anthony Anderson in that movie Kangaroo Jack a little bit. He was just really funny in this movie, and I loved this character. But this movie is also classified as a horror movie, so yes, you do have those scares once in a while, and it's pretty thrilling too. I did think that they did a good job in making this movie pretty compelling overall, especially with that good trailer, and overall I think the movie was pretty thrilling. I was on the edge of my seat a lot to see what would happen next, so when it is a horror/thriller, I think it did a good job in those categories. But this movie is not really all that scary either. It's really not the scariest movie out there. There are some jump scares, but they're very subtle, and really there isn't that many of them. And also going back to saying subtle, the comedy in this movie, while it's not all out in your face like an actual comedy movie, it is subtle, so I think they actually use really good strategies when using the comedy in this movie. And therefore it all meshed really well when they were doing the comedy/horror and thriller side of the story. And when looking at the story in this movie, I didn't think it was actually all that investing as I was going to think it was coming into the movie. After looking at the trailer several months ago, I was like, what the hell is this movie? This looks weird. And yeah, there are a lot of crazy parts in this movie, but not that crazy as people were saying, honestly. So I was left actually somewhat disappointed. It was well directed, honestly. Everything with the comedy and the direction, I thought Jordan Peele did a really good job there. It was pretty thrilling overall. But what really hurt this movie for me was the ending and the whole big twist in this movie. Of course, no spoilers or anything, but the twist in this movie, I didn't really care. I thought it was kind of cliche, good old things I have there all the time. So the twist in this movie I wasn't really a big fan of. That's something I forgot to mention in my A Cure for Wellness twist in that movie. Yeah, nothing really that big. And also between this movie and that movie, the twist I don't think it really makes all that much sense either. I don't think it's actually technically possible either for this thing to happen. That's all I have to say. I'm not going to spoil it, of course. Also, a few times in this movie, I felt the tone was actually a little bit off. In some scenes, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to laugh or if I was supposed to be more serious in those specific scenes in the movie. So I felt like the tone was off at some times. And also in the trailer, there was this deer-looking skeleton thing. I have no idea what it was, but I was intrigued to figure out what it was, and it was not in the movie. So, what the hell? But I think Get Out is actually a very enjoyable movie. The comedy is very funny. Little Rel Howery, he was very good in this movie. It's really well acted too. I think the directing by Jordan Peele was very good as well. And also the movie has some good thrills here and there. Not the scariest movie either. I actually have to thank the studio for not making it that scary of a movie. But the problems in the movie actually revolve around the plot and the twist specifically. I was not a fan of that. I would say the first two acts were the best, and then by the time we got to the third, I wasn't all that invested in it by that time because I just felt like it was somewhat cliche. Also, the tones were off here and there with the comedy and the seriousness and that skeleton thing. I mean, come on, what the hell? But it is an enjoyable movie, and I think a lot of you guys will enjoy this one. And I'm going to give Get Out a 70%, one I think a lot of you guys will enjoy and will want to see, especially on a rainy day. It's just one of those movies you want to throw in and go watch. But also, do not raise your expectations. That's a lesson I learned with this movie. My expectations were very high, and please, when you go see a movie, do not raise your expectations that high. But this week, I am hoping to see Logan. Depends though, I have no idea what to expect because I've never seen any of the X-Men movies, so I might just go see that movie without even seeing those movies. And also, Kong Skull Island, I'm going to see that movie this week as well, so look for both of those reviews. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.